Hoi hoi folks, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Sean, aka Uncle Frogface, and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, then welcome. If you're not new, then welcome back. So as you might have seen from the title of the video, we are doing another miniature master study today. So this is where I take a tiny canvas and I try to replicate a masterpiece. So today's has been suggested by someone on my Instagram. So I put up a post a few days ago asking for suggestions for the next miniature master study. I got loads of suggestions, so there's going to be a lot coming up. Not short suggestions, that's for sure, but I will be putting up on Instagram a couple of options and let you guys vote. So if you want to have a kind of influence on what we do in the miniature master studies, then follow me on Instagram, the link's below, and you can have your say. But without further ado, I'm all set up here, so let's turn the camera around and we can get straight into it. So I said that this was going to be a small canvas, and I wish I was joking, but this canvas really is tiny. It's called Mini Masterpieces for a reason. This is 2 inches by 2 inches, and if I flip the ruler over, you can see that is 5 centimeters. This is so small. To put it in perspective, the picture that has been chosen is 72 inches square. So we are going to try and put this onto this tiny canvas. So this is The Kiss by Gustav Klimt. I'm going to take it from there and put it onto here. This is ambitious. But I've got my proportional measuring device and I've already got this set up. So the wide end, if I do the height of the painting on the tablet, is the same on the small end for the canvas. We have all of these holes and they give you different ratios of measurement so that you can kind of shrink and grow different things in different sizes. That's what she said. So I'm using a green pencil, just any colouring pencil, because colouring pencils don't bleed into the paint that you're using. I'm just going to come in and mark out important landmarks. And this means that I can come in and do a kind of loose sketch afterwards. But having these loose landmarks kind of measured out with the proportional measuring device means that I'm getting a more accurate representation of the original piece. So obviously I'm not going to be able to get all of the detail into this, but I'm going to try my hardest and get in as much as I can. But that's not really what a master study is about. It's about learning something new every time. So I'm learning a bit about the proportions that Klimt used for this picture. And once I've got the sketch all done, this is the kind of rough sketch that I've got. And it's so economical with paint. Tiny blobs of paint will cover this whole canvas. So this is just yellow with a little bit of black. So the background of this is actually quite dark, but I'm just coming in and laying in some kind of base foundation colours. So in the background we've got this yellow colour, and you can see that I'm darkening up a little bit. I end up darkening it again and again. But yeah, we've got the background, which is this yellow colour, and then the foreground, the kind of lovers, the people in their embrace, are on this kind of really lovely flowery hill with lots of very kind of loose flowers painted on it. So I'm just dropping in the green for that there. And then for the couple themselves, I'm using the Stuart Semple Culture Hustle Goldest Gold paint. And again, just coming in everywhere where the gold is supposed to be and just laying down the foundation colour. And then I'm going to leave that to dry for a few moments. And once that's dry, this is what we have. And we can start coming in and laying in some of the more kind of refined details. So I'm starting with flesh tones. And if you look at the picture closely, the man in the picture has actually got quite a lot of green in his flesh tone. So that's really how I'm separating out these two figures. He has more green in his flesh tone, she has more pink in her flesh tone, so this is her elbow here, so I've got a bit more pink in the colour there. That's her feet down there. And again, just blocking in. I'm using, comparatively, for such a small canvas, this is quite a large brush. I left it quite late to swap over to a finer brush. And I still really need to invest in some smaller brushes because the ones that I have still feel really big. So once I've got their skin tones in, I need to get their hair in. So his hair is actually green, strangely enough. So I'm coming in this really dark green and I can lay in some kind of lighter tones on it afterwards. And then her hair is this lovely burnt umber colour. And then her hand is around his neck, so I'm just coming in with a bit of that pinker flesh tone and just popping that in as well. It's really hard to get anything defined with this picture. It's such a loose picture anyway, but I wanted to get as much in as I could. So now I'm working on their clothing. So you have his clothing, her clothing, and then a cloak behind them, and all of it is gold, and the only kind of difference between them is a slight variation in texture on her dress, but obviously the different patterns. So I'm laying in the green blocks on her dress, and I'm coming in for those kind of iconic black stripes on his outfit as well. And again, I'm not really, I'm kind of following the picture, but it's so hard to get everything exactly the right place. I just want to give a general overall feeling of those pieces kind of in the correct place. And then I've got some red paint here, and I'm just dotting in some of the flowers in these little panels on her dress. And there's also some little dots on the kind of cloak that surrounds the two of them. So she's also got some blue flowers. I'm popping some of those in as well. And she's also got blue flowers around her head and in her hair, so we're popping those in too. And then some white, there's some little white highlights and some yellow highlights, so dropping those in, and in the hair as well. One was too big, so just wipe that away with a finger. Good thing with these paintings that are so small, you can just use your fingers to wipe things away. So to vary the kind of back of the cloak around them and her dress, I'm just coming with a very light wash of green. So gold, as it ages, goes a green colour. So green is a really good shadow colour for gold. And then I'm just coming in and dropping in some of the flowers on the bottom. And again, very loose. This painting is a very loose painting with the flowers on the bottom. So I wanted to kind of give an accurate representation of that, just with all of these little blobbies. And the very few colours used in this painting, it really is, the primer is green, flesh tone, gold, black and white. So again, adding that wash to try and separate the two figures. Adding a few more of those tiny details. And then I've got a very thin paintbrush. I thought I'd come in and, because the feet are separated by a black line, the fingers are separated by black lines, and I just could not get fine enough lines. And then I thought I'll come in and do the face, and it was just a big no, an absolute disaster. I mean, I just could not get lips or anything. So I thought, rather than try and get all of the details, I just want to get an impression of the face. So I'm just coming in now and just kind of highlighting the nose and the brow ridge, and not worrying so much about those kind of the line work that's there separating things out. Again, we've got some more flowers down here, so I'm just building up those, adding some yellow bits to those, and giving a bit of a wash of black to the back just to try and darken that. Add that separation, that kind of contrast between the figures and the paint in the background. And again, on the dress, trying to add in a few more of those little tiny details. And a few more details on his outfit as well. You've got white stripes as well as black stripes and black blocks. So once all of that has dried, it's time to come in and add some more gold details. So at the bottom here we have all of this kind of fine kind of beadwork, I suppose. It's just like all of these little strands with little beads either side. So I'm just coming in and painting those in. So Klimt, this was the last painting of his gold period. So this was the last gold painting that he did. And I've actually got a couple of the other paintings from his gold period on my list of miniatures to do. So it's good to know that this gold paint works so well. There's some gold in flowers at the bottom. There's also some gold in the background as well. So I'm just picking those small details out. Again, it's all about looking at the kind of original and seeing what you can take out of that to create something for yourself. And once that has dry, I really wanted to show the contrast between figures and the background. So again, coming in just with a wash of a very dilute black paint and just washing it over and dabbing it away. And because this was so light, those gold details that are in the background still shine through in the light. They're still very reflective. I think we're just coming to the end. So here we are at the end. I've given this a little bit of time to dry, and I'm actually really pleased with how it turned out. So it's a little bit hard to see because of the kind of reflective nature of the paint. But look at that, I'm really pleased with that. And just a reminder, this is 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. It is tiny. So this is going to go up with my other miniature master studies. I'm going to end up having a little gallery, I'm sure. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. As always, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.